Okay. Good evening to everybody. Respected Varada Babu, respected Dr. Moray Misra, respected our Chief Guest Dr. Vivek Patnaik, and my dear audience, those who are participants. It is a great pleasure for me to speak something which is such a great and eminent personality. And primarily, they are not only great personality, they are also a great friend of mine. They are great advisor. They are great inspiration. They have great inspiration for me also. All three people have inspired me a lot in different times. So I feel very happy to be associated with them. And I also lead their blessing. It is a great pleasure to talk on such an important topic. When a person of Indian Foreign Service, Ambassador Ramla spoke, I am very little person to talk with such an important topic. Anyway, we must understand what is the USA, what is the instinct. USA is never friend of any country, or will be never friend of any country. So, if Indian Prime Minister thinks that USA is going to help in future, then he is hugging in an illusion. Then he is totally thinking a wrong thing. Always America thinks its own interest. It helps. It also encourages inside terrorism. It helps those countries when its own interest is satisfied. It is never friend of any country. It can change at any time. So, in the first time, as Dr. Moray Misra told, Narendra Modi was not given due respect. But the Prime Minister of a biggest country, that is a very dismal thing, very depressing and dejecting me. Particularly, why USA is and Trump is taking this course to reciprocal tariff or raising taxes on export from other countries. What we export? That is import from USA. Or what USA export to India? It is import for us. It is not only concern about India's relation. It wants to reduce its trade deficit. Primarily, this stems from the very fat economic problem plaguing the USA economy. Particularly, what we think, USA economy is not in a good position, and Trump wants to divert the attention of Americans from real problem, and that has crippled the USA economy, which was started from the tax cut of a Bush, and again increased the tax cut by himself in the past regime. So today, USA economy, size of a USA economy is $30 trillion. Indian economy is less than $4 trillion. America economy is in terms of GDP. It is the first largest economy, but in terms of purchasing power, China is the largest economy, followed by USA and India. India has become third largest economy in purchasing power parity in 2011. Now they are talking about third largest economy in nominal GDP. But problem is that USA debt is more than 135% of its GDP. So USA has faced this problem because of a tax cut, corporate tax cut, income tax cut initiated by since Ronald Reagan. They wanted to spur consumption and GDP by cutting the tax of the richer section of the society, which has backfired, and America has been dragged into the debt quagmire. India is following this. India's debt is also increasing, but it is within control. It should be within 60% of GDP, both the center and state combined, but it is now 83%. Center's debt is 56% of GDP. So America wants to divert the attention. Second thing is that America trade deficit is huge, as well as fiscal deficit is huge. America is sustaining its economy simple because of its dollar hegemony. Maybe America military number one country, maybe scientifically much progress, educationally much progress, but financially America is vulnerable. And it is surviving because of China and other countries are depositing their foreign reserves in America's security. The moment China withdraws its foreign exchange reserves, America economy may collapse. So that is why America is targeting China, and America is using India as the junior strategic partner to outweigh China. Yes, we do not have a better relation with China because as a neighbor, but China is not as dangerous as USA. That we must understand. Next question is that when America economy is, when debt is uncontrolled and a cash cut job plan will end by the end of 2025, Trump has to change the economic structure, and if he wants to gain the popularity by reactionary method, the method which he has adopted is beggar thy neighbor policy, where everybody is going to lose, nobody will gain. Second thing, it is withdrawing the globalization, it is withdrawing from the multilateral system, even bilateral system. And what is globalization? It is not globalization of a human being, it was globalization of finance capital. Actually, when globalization was rampant after the collapse of Soviet Union, at that time everybody advocated for globalization because it was used to benefit the corporates, multinational company of the USA and other countries, not India. Yes, we have benefited, but we have also inequality has grown, poverty has not decreased, cultural integration has been destroyed. So globalization was order of the day because of the interest of the USA and the multinational company, and the entire world was forced to accept the globalization and also reduce the taxes, especially corporate tax. We have also reduced in 2019-20. So America is now unable to sustain its economy, so it is crying in a different way, and it wants to impose sanctions or reciprocal tariffs and to reduce the trade deficit. Particularly, India has one of the highest trade surplus with the USA. China has a trade deficit, USA has a trade deficit with China, European Union, Mexico, Vietnam, Ireland, Germany, but it has a surplus with Netherlands, South and Central America, North King, Australia, United Kingdom. So it has India has around trade, India has trade, India's import is to USA is around India's import from USA is around $41.8 billion in 2024. But India's export to USA is around $87.4 billion. So India has a trade surplus with the USA, it is around $45.6 billion. But India has a huge trade deficit with China, we must remember. Problem is not trade deficit. Since Trump has since the first regime of Trump, India's trade deficit, USA trade deficit has not declined. USA health, economy health has not improved. So Trump's policy of make American great again is only to divert the attention and he will backfire. Particularly, but USA import something to us, and we also export something to USA. Particularly, what the India imports mineral fuels, steels, organic chemicals, plastics, processed foods, nuclear reactors, boilers, and also armaments. Similarly, India export to USA or USA imports from the India. It is diamonds, jewelry, agricultural products, refined petroleums, rice, dairy products, fuels, precious jewels, drug formulation, telecom instruments, so and so. So, what important thing we have read in this college, that is infant industry argument. Infant industry argument means weak economy, weak industry needs protection through tariff. For example, India is a developing country, USA is an advanced country. Indian industry all cannot compete with the USA industry. That is why when we import goods and services or goods from such big country, we have to impose more tariff, so enable our industries to survive, to sustain the competition. That is known as the infant industry argument. So there was a tariff, huge tariff, and which has reduced for globalization. Now America is retreating globalization, and the very policy of tax cut imposed by Ronald Reagan has failed. Similarly, there is no alternative privatization policy of Margaret Thatcher has failed today. So globalization, retreat of globalization will cause more problems to entire world economy. And I am not in favor of unbridled globalization. I am also not against globalization. But I want to tell that every country should have its own capacity, strength to open an economy and close an economy. For example, in the last budget, the government has increased the FDI limit to 100% in insurance sector. So, because under pressure, that is important. Government should have a power to control the economy. But in the globalization process, in market economy, a stock market are playing a dominant role, and the government has a very minimum power to control the administration. Actually, power lies with the global finance capital and corporate sectors, and that has started from the USA policy from Reagan. That is going to that has raised inequality. Indians inequality is rampant, and it is more than British era. And America inequality is rampant also. And America, the companies are keeping their money, they are evading taxes and keeping their money in the tax havens. Indian companies are also keeping their Indian needs. That is why there is a possibility of to have a minimum corporate tax. That means we have to think that globalization has failed. So America now resorting to such protectionism, such reciprocal tariff. It is a reciprocal tariff means it wants to tell that the amount of tariff one country is imposing on its goods imported, America is likely to impose similar tariff on the what it imports from other countries. That will cause a lot of problem, global stability, global trade, that will nullify the importance of IMF, World Bank, World Trade Organization. America is also withdrawing very argument. And particularly I remember it 2017, Washington Post has written an article that death of democracy dies in darkness. It has criticized after Donald Trump taking over the charges. I have also written 2 articles. I have written that this is an uncertainty for 4 years. In the world economy is now facing various crises, poly-crisis. There is a slowdown, GDP is declining. This policy of USA Trump's protectionism is going to backfire, and it will go to not only USA, also other countries. That is why America is also losing the trust and it is importance as a global leader. So America was never India's friend we know in the past it has helped Pakistan, other countries when there is a war. It has never failed, but America was leaning to India during the Trump first regime because they are threatened by the dominance of the China. That we must understand. So now India is in very precarious position because it has no good relation with China. Now Trump is threatening, and Trump does not want to have a good relation with Narendra Modi, or Indian Prime Minister. The way Indian Prime Minister rushed to USA without invitation, it shows that our reputation is at stake. That must be considered. Particularly, India is also agreeing to with the imposition rule what USA wants, and it wants to reduce to tariff. Another thing, it wants to import armaments, meaning which will benefit the USA. It wants to help the USA to reduce trade deficit. And another thing is that the way America deported the illegal immigrants is very painful. They were what I was reading. They were handcuffed. That is very painful, and it is not the first time. It was earlier, but today it is very in a painful, denigrating way, and that has not a reaction in India, neither in the Indian bureaucrats, nor Indian politicians, nor Indian media. When Indians peoples have actually another important thing, these immigrants have created helped American economic growth. They are actually not a problem for American economy because they were doing inferior jobs and they have an immense contribution to the GDP. It is just the whims of the Donald Trump. So particularly, I am very sorry that in India, intellectuals, media are very silent, politicians are silent. What was the necessity of Indian Prime Minister rushing to USA when USA has not invited? We have indirectly, we are surrendering to USA imperialism, US hegemony. We have kept not good relation with China. Now USA is distancing. That means we are nowhere. That is a very precarious position. I do not want to lengthen more topic as time is short. I am very glad that I was invited to discuss with such eminent great person and who are also a great source of inspiration to me. Once again I pay my respect to all these seniors. With this I conclude my speech. Thank you. Namaste.